Hello everybody and welcome back to WoW Mods. And this time around we're back, and we're back somewhere that we all hold dearly to our hearts. So we're back at the ancient Night Elf city. We're on the outsides, ancient Night Elf slash Suramar inspired city. And I wanted to show you a little bit of the lead up. There, of course, we have all the lands that are left to be modded, which I haven't brought them into the patch yet. But yeah, I wanted to show you what it is to go inside, or at least to approach the city. Now, the inside, don't worry, none of it is finalized yet, so there's a lot of work to be done there particularly. And here we are. And there you are obviously seeing some of the changes that have been made to the city itself. Oh, and in our approach, we might have been a little bit too fast, but here we go. So one of the things that have been added have been these new trees, which I've sort of made custom for the city. I needed the resource. I wanted a little bit more variety. I wanted trees that matched the older style but aren't available in the game. And those have now gone in, and they're in very different places in the game. There's different elements here. We've sort of gone into the bank, and I know we've already come in here before, but there's just a bunch of like little tweaks, sign tweaks, doodads, bushes, and whatnot. With the incorporating of more trees, of these particular trees, came the understanding that we had to change the locations of certain things and just work with what we had. So yeah, so there's just a lot of like details that have gone into the placement of trees, the sort of like knickknacks that are hanging around, and a lot of that is what really gives the city its character. Now, like I said before in the previous video that I had made, we would be adding different vegetation and also towers with spire crystals, which we've done, and they can be all observed by just looking at some of these buildings and seeing the towers emerge. Now, I did pick those towers because I think that they sort of match or approximate some of the high elf, some of the old night elf architecture, and they integrate themselves, and they're kind of like towers that are present in Legion, in the Suramar, but they also add that element of making a city a city. You know, having towers is something that is actually quite important. In the geography of the city, you can see that I've actually extended certain areas of land as they come out, because I did want this to have a sort of this half-crescent motif, which is in the city, and we're still working towards that. There's still a lot of work. It's just that, again, this is probably the largest city that I've built in WoW, so it's taking some time to actually get it done. But aside from that, it seems like everything is working pretty well. We moved sort of the signs that were in some of these structures, and we brought them inside. So this is going to be the Arcaneum, and we've got all the respective texts and knickknacks and what have you, that will be part of that. We've also, as you can see, we've got some details, some of these magical details going in. What else do we have here? Here, nothing has been done in the inside, but this is where we're going to have some weapons. It's going to be another shop. So we thought the location of that. Flowers and little ground details are what we want. And then if we go through here, we've been sort of like leveling out some of the area. And here we're starting to see a secondary area that I'm interested in, which is going to be a forest, which will be enchanted, and it'll be mostly these types of trees, and it'll remain sort of like a darker grass with a town that is likely around that direction over there. But before that, I have to sort of reshape this port right here, because right now this is it's just standing in for what it should be. So this will be sort of port slash dock part of the city, and I believe I'll be either moving some of these walls or knocking them down to open space for the dock itself. So that is pretty much what I've been doing with the city. I don't want to go or delve too deeply into the other area of the map because I want to save that for another video, but just to give you an idea of how these things are coming up. So there's some rivers, and there's some water, some lakes, some ramps up into ruins. So we're already kind of working our way, and we can see a building over there, which is the other town, but we'll save that for later. So that's really where we're at right now in terms of this mod. It's coming along. It's certainly getting there. We have all the elements that we want, but it's going to take a while to finish it up, which is great, because that means we can continue the series, we can continue developing things, you can continue sort of like contacting me, telling me, you know, what you'd like to see, what you'd like to do, and hopefully I'll be able to meet those promises. But until then, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this particular video of this series, and we will be back next week with more content. So until then, everybody, take it easy.